Well, guys, the Packers are cooked, and there's really no other way to say it. I don't have words. Packers lose to the Bears 24-22 in a game that they should have won by 2 touchdowns. This Bears team has lost 10 in a row going into today, and Packers have won 11 straight against the Bears, and you come out there and you lay an egg, and it was a get-right game for the Packers after the bad game against Minnesota. You're going into the playoffs. The seeding wasn't quite determined yet, but you have everything to play for morale and, potential seeding, even though they didn't control their destiny. You want to go out, you want to have a big win against the Bears. I don't even care if the Bears are a bad team. These games are always close, and you come out and you look like absolute shit again. And at this point, I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people have been saying this for a while, and I was never really on this train. Fire Matt LaFleur. I'm so sick of this shit. At some point, it's on the coaching. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say that I could do a better job than a professional head coach in the NFL, but my God, you guys ever notice how the Lions never come out and look flat? Like, Dan Campbell is so good at motivating his players. You listen to him talk, and it makes me, just listening to him talk makes me want to go run through a brick wall. Like, the Lions, even the games that they've lost, they always play their teams close, and they always look good. The Packers have come out looking flat so many times this year, and you can tell usually by now on the first drive if the Packers are going to win or lose. It's just absolutely, it's ridiculous. And I think it's on the coaching at this point, because I don't know what else to say. Of course, athletes are going to make mistakes. It's not every single thing that happens on the field, whether it's a fumble or an interception, is going to be on the coach. It's like when Jordan was throwing all those interceptions earlier in the year, at some point it's like on the coaching for being like, hey guys, you got to coach this out of him. Like, you got to get on him and really make sure that he's not just forcing these balls into like double or triple coverage. But like a quarterback makes a bad throw, or like a running back, like Josh Jacobs fumbling last week against Minnesota, that's not on the coach. But when you routinely have a team that comes out flat and they looked like shit, it's completely on the coaching for not having this team ready. Like, what the hell were you guys doing? This game made me lose all hope in the Packers this offseason. They were my pick to go to the Super Bowl this year. I picked them to win. And then the last few weeks, I was starting to be more like, well, this team has so much potential, but they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. Like, they are their own worst enemy every single time. And after today against the Bears, I'm like, yeah, this team's going to get blown out by Philly. Even if the Commanders had lost and the Packers had won this game and they had played the Rams, I wasn't confident in that game either. So it is going to take an absolute miracle for this Packers team to win one playoff game in Philly. Do I think the Packers can do it? I don't know. If they come out and they look hot, and we've seen the potential of this team, if they come out and they have one of the best games of their season, sure, but I don't have any faith in them to get it done, to be honest with you. I think this game is probably going to be maybe not a blowout, but I don't think the Packers are winning against the Eagles. And to be honest with you, I think if they come out and they look flat against the Eagles, just send Matt LaFleur home and don't even let him back on the team plane, because it's absolutely fucking ridiculous on how sloppy this team is. It's the penalties, it's the fumbles. Jaden Reed fumbled on that end around. I know there was another. What the hell was that punt return? Like, how do you get psyched out on where the ball is? Doesn't the punter know where he's kicking it? So I don't know what the hell happened with that. Yeah, I don't even have words. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Love came out with an injury. Don't want to say they said it was his elbow. He was throwing at the beginning of the second half, so I think he's probably fine. They probably just kept him out because it's like, don't risk him getting more hurt than he already is, and just, let him play next week. Malik Willis came in. He looked all right. He missed some throws and didn't maybe have the best decision. He fumbled. He got nailed on a drop back. But overall, I mean, I think Malik looked better than Jordan did in the beginning part of this game. And then Watson went down with another knee injury. And it's just like, yeah, this Packers team, Josh Jacobs is like the only one on the team who did good on the offense. The defense showed up, I guess, for the most part, but at the end they couldn't get a stop. They let Caleb get away, and if they had sacked him, they maybe would have had a better chance. That clock would have continued to run, but Caleb instead was able to get the throw off, and it stopped the clock, and they ended up it's very fitting that the Bears kicked a game-winning field goal with Cairo Santos. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, the Bears deserve to win this game. The Packers deserve to lose. The Bears played better, and hats off to the Bears fans for ending the Packers' 11-game win streak, and you go into the offseason 5-12 with, I don't know how much hope you have if you're a Bears fan, but you don't end the season on an 11-game losing streak. You beat the Packers, and so that's got to feel good. So, yeah, congrats to the Bears fans. You guys deserve it. You deserve the win, and the Packers deserve to lose this game. And who knows? Maybe this is the loss the Packers need to, fire them up, but I doubt it, because I think a lot of that comes from the coaching, and I don't think Matt LaFleur has it in him. I will be perfectly honest with you. I think he should be gone at the end of this year, unless the Packers go on some insane run. But again, it's just we know what LaFleur's ceiling is. He's a great offensive mind. He's, I think, a genius when it comes to some stuff, but I think he overthinks things, and I don't think he's capable of hyping his team up and getting his team ready. And I think that is going to hold the Packers back. Did you guys just notice how the Packers just looked unmotivated and uninspired today? It's like they were yeah, it's week 18. We're going to the playoffs anyway. What do we have to play for? It's well, you have to play for the seeding, even though you don't technically control your destiny here. But go into the playoffs by blowing out a team and get your morale back up higher. Last year, they beat the Bears in week 18, and that was a win and in, and they were on cloud 9. They went into Dallas and completely just disintegrated the Cowboys. And this year, we are limping into the playoffs from a morale standpoint. They're going to go to Philly, and they're probably going to get smoked. And it's going to suck to see the season end like that, because you see the potential, and you know what this team can be, and can't keep using the excuse of it's a young team. It's just the penalties they're committing and the shit that is just constantly happening. It's this is on the coaching staff, and I 100% believe that, and I'm just kind of tired of it. I know a lot of Packers fans have been on the get rid of Matt LaFleur bandwagon for a while. It's kind of taken me a while to get there, and I've had my moments where I'm dude, what are you doing? But after this, it's just I don't know what else to say. How can you not think that this is on the coaching when this team comes out and looks flat week after week after week? And again, athletes are going to have bad games, they're going to have bad days, and they're going to make dumb mistakes. But when your team comes out and they look uninspired and they just look flat constantly, that's on the coaching staff. All right, these are professional athletes, but they're still human beings, right? Motivation comes and goes, and it's up to the coaching staff to get your team ready, and Matt LaFleur is not doing it. So Packers are now the 7th seed, and they are going to head to Philly in the wild card game. And yeah, I have no faith in this team. They are going to be a first-round exit. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm not going to go over the stats too much for this game because, what is there really to go over? Like I said, 24-22 final score. I was talking to my brother with about 5 or 6 minutes left when the Packers were down by 8 or 9, and I said the Bears are probably going to blow this game just because it's the Bears, and I was almost right. The Packers ended up taking the lead, and I was yep, that's the Bears for you. Even though I really honestly at that point didn't care, I was one point almost rooting for the Packers to lose because I was you deserve it, and also maybe this is the kick in the nuts you need. Not even really a kick in the nuts, it's just you did this to yourself. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. The Bears deserve to win that game. The Packers just came out and just completely laid an egg. And I was contemplating going to this game last week. I was I could drive to Green Bay and get the tickets to go to the Bears game. They'll probably win 35-17 or something like that, 35-10. They'll probably blow out the Bears and stuff like that. Really glad I didn't go to that game because not only was it freezing, but it would have been a long drive home of just being yeah, that was a waste of money. So, yep. We'll see what happens with the playoffs. I'll do a playoff predictions video. And yeah, again, I don't have any faith in the Packers this postseason. They are going to get beat by the Eagles, and it'll be a long offseason. And let's hope that if they lose to the Eagles, it's a game where, to be honest with you, I'd rather have them get blown out by the Eagles and have a better chance of LaFleur getting fired. Because if they lose by a field goal and they look good, then it's just going to be like, the Eagles were better than them. But I do think the Eagles are a better team, but I'd rather have them get blown out and have LaFleur potentially get fired, even though I don't think he will. But that's where I stand with that. So